Hi everyone. In today's TokenClan weekly videos, I'm going to review a DeFi project happening on Binance Smart Chain. If you are looking for higher return for your crypto, you need to look at this DeFi project called Multiplier Finance. In the next few minutes, I'm going to do a run through of what are my thoughts on this DeFi project and what are the interesting and innovating features happening in these projects. If you are using some forms of lending and borrowing platforms on the DeFi, such as Aave, Compound, Venus, you need to sit tight in the next few minutes and take a look at what I have to share in this video. The devs behind this have introduced very interesting features so that people who are into these lending and borrowing platforms, they will know how challenging it is to manage their positions and collaterals during a dip like May 20, where liquidation can happen very easily for many if you are not careful. So this platform introduced interesting features for us to manage it so easily. You want to make sure that you know these interesting features that are happening. At the same time, it has more increased incentives for people who wanting to yield farm for these platform tokens. They have the best rates in the month of August 2021 as they are going to launch their version 2 in Binance Smart Chain. Without further ado, let's get started. Now, before I talk about Multiplier Finance, I want to share with you that we do introduce industry experts to talk about cryptocurrencies and blockchain technologies. In the previous stock shows, we have a multi-million portfolio manager that talk about Bitcoin. We have Charles Allen from BTCS Inc., a public listed company focused on blockchain based in the US, to talk about how they are generating income from powering proof-of-stakes blockchain networks like Cardano and Ethereum. We also have a call with the alternative blockchain group based in Finland, Helsinki, to talk about Bitcoin halving back in 2020. And not too long ago, we have a wealth advisory expert based in Singapore, Christopher Tan, CEO of Provident, on his perspective of cryptocurrencies in the lens of wealth management. In our weekly YouTube videos, we do share DeFi projects that we find them unique and interesting, like the one that I'm going to do today. In fact, some of these DeFi projects are the very platforms we are using them day in and day out. With the expertise of our invited speakers, together with the innovation in the DeFi space, we hope to bring you new perspective of cryptocurrencies and blockchain technologies. If you like more on this crypto content, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Telegram channel. Be sure to click the notification bell, and also we are very active in our Telegram, and we do put out fresh new video contents like this on a weekly basis in YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and give us a like. Firstly, we are going to touch on DeFi projects. I need to make sure that you are aware of the risk, which is the first one is that when you're borrowing and lending platforms like Aave, Venus, and many of these, there's always the risk of liquidation risk, where you collateralize your cryptos. And if you ever get into borrowing and you get some crypto debts, you need to manage the liquidation thresholds to ensure that your debts don't get to a level that makes your collateral at risk. So we call that liquidation risk. And all forms of interactions between the DeFi projects happens on the smart contract. So you know that smart contracts are coding, programming, they are being coded by programmers. They are humans, they make mistakes. So there are smart contract risks that you need to consider. And also, wherever the DeFi projects, the platforms don't take pricing of their financial symbols, financial assets, crypto assets in the centralized manner, then they will be sustainable to pricing exploits. We'll share more. By now, you must be aware of the DeFi risk, and with that, I want to make sure that you understand that if ever you find the project that I'm going to share with you today very interesting, make sure that you only put in cryptos and money that you are okay to risk. They are risk capital. With that, I want to introduce to you Multiplier Finance. The dev contacted me and shared with me these projects. I took some time out to pay attention, went a deep dive into these projects. I take a look at all their documentations and everything they have done. So early 2021, they launched it on Binance Smart Chain. They were an Ethereum project. So when they moved into Binance Smart Chain, and in 2nd August, they are going to do a V2 launch. And in V2 launch, it brings a lot of changes and at the same time, a lot of yield farming opportunities. If you are looking for one right now, you certainly have to look at Multiplier V2 launch happening on 2nd August 2021. Now, currently, they are relatively small. Based on my personal opinion, I want to share with you that their total value locked as of today is about 21 million USD locked in their platforms in the totality of their Ethereum network and their Binance Smart Chain networks. But they are also happening migrations. I wouldn't be touching on the migrations. I will be talking about their V2 new features and their new incentivized yield farming rewards for people who are interested to take advantage of Multiplier Finance for more use. And if you go to their website here, I want to bring up their website, multiplier.finance. If you scroll down, you see that they have collaborations with Certic, Chainlink, their price data. There are oracles, they are using Chainlink price data, so which means that every pricings are decentralized in a way, so no singular pricing would ever cause any issue with these platforms. So these are mainly based on my own research. You need to do your own diligence and take a look, and you need to understand why it is always advantageous for DeFi platforms to take advantage of Chainlink price oracles to tap on their price data of their crypto assets. And it minimizes a lot of flash loan attacks and exploits that are happening pretty recently to many of the Binance Smart Chain projects. You want to make sure that you are interacting with a DeFi platform that uses their price data from Chainlink and so forth. So they have collaborations with PancakeSwap. They are going to introduce leverage yield farming through this platform called Alpaca Finance. They are listed on CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap. They are also uses some forms of incentivized LP farming in the future. I believe they also uses Ape swaps. Some of their crypto assets, their smart contracts are being audited by Certic. Kudowski, again, I'm more familiar in the ecosystem of Binance Smart Chain. I know Certic pretty well because they pretty much audited some of those very big DeFi platforms that we are using right now. Kudowski can be lead and vet smart contracts for Solana, Crypto.com, and so on. So they are also pretty big in the space. Again, as a DeFi users, you want to be seeing all of this that adds trust and confidence to users that are onboarding into this DeFi platform, but they are by no means 100% foolproof. So they may, because we are in a very fast-moving landscape of crypto, so you want to see some of this in the DeFi platforms that you participating in. And if you checked on their team profiles, the key people that are developing this and managing these DeFi projects, you see that they are all having profiles on their social channels, and they have their Twitter and LinkedIn, and they are also can be found on Telegrams. All of them have a profile. They are not anonymous in any way. I'm so excited, and I feel that if you have the team all showing, all are publicly shown, and this certainly adds another level of trust for people who are interacting with these DeFi platforms. They are listed on CoinGecko. Their token symbols is bMXX. Multiplier tokens. They are listed since March 2021. These projects can also be found on DeFi stations with multi-chain land. They are rebranding themselves and focus it on Multiplier Finance moving forward, so you will hear less often of multi-chain land anymore. And I want to put to your attention why it gets me so excited about Multiplier Finance V2 launch happening on 2nd August. Take a look at this news articles that is found on bsc.news. V2 will launch. It offers a fee reduction and deflationary mechanism to its tokenomics. First thing, the protocol is audited by Certic and Kudelski's auditors of Solana blockchain, and crypto assets are partially covered by Certic Shield and Sorare Finance. This Sorare Finance is a fork of Nexus Mutual in Ethereum, if you are familiar with. Sorare Finance is one of the 2 insurance protocols that I know in Binance Smart Chain that are operating for some time already, so they are pretty well known. Then that's the comparison chart I want to put attention. Multiplier Finance V2 launch will introduce some new features that can only be found on Multiplier and not the other lending and borrowing platforms on Binance Smart Chain. So we have the stable and flexible borrowing rates. So stable borrowing rates are not found in Binance Smart Chain yet. So most of those that we see in Venus, in Cream Finance, they are all variable. You get to have a fixed borrowing rate if you are borrowing through Multiplier Finance. There's this collateral swap during loan, only found on Multiplier. More on these individual features that I will share with you later. Loan repayment using collaterals with a simple click of a button. Batch flash loan, which means that in platforms like Cream Finance, you can only borrow a single asset. However, in Multiplier, you can borrow BNB and USDT at the same time, or USDT, USDC, a mixture of USDC and USDC, and do it. And coupled with the lowest flash loan fees that Multiplier have further reduced in their V2 launch, this feature is going to be very exciting for developers looking for flash loans in Binance Smart Chain. So here are the features. I will talk about it in more greater detail as I go into their live platform in my second video of this episode. I want to keep this video short. For people who are looking for higher yields and returns and farming of new tokens, or they want to get their multiplier tokens bMXX without paying for it, you want to be using this lending protocol Multiplier, lend and borrow, and you are now incentivized with bMXX. At the same time, if you do own bMXX, they have increased their daily incentive for bMXX governance staking from 400 bMXX shared amount to 1,200 bMXX being shared daily with the stakers that have bMXX. So this increased incentive, one of the biggest opportunities if you are on the search for the next farming tokens, that for the next yield farming projects, this could be one of the ways for you. Instead of buying it, you can interact and use these lending and borrowing platforms to farm for these new tokens with higher incentivized returns. They will take advantage of this at this point in time. Depending on when you are looking at it, probably when you are looking at this video, is their V2 is already launched. Also, let me go back to my slides. I've given you one that why you should be interested and find out about this Multiplier Finance V2 launch on the 2nd August 2021. First thing, if you are looking for borrowing lending, or you are an investor, you want to yield farm for projects without paying for it, or you have some bMXX token, you want to make sure that you are taking advantage of the V2 launch. Of course, if you are a developer, I certainly feel that with the platforms, the new features that are introduced in this V2 launch and in the whole ecosystems of Binance Smart Chain, there are certainly unique features that can only be found on Multiplier Finance at this point in time. I certainly believe that the newly introduced incentive and the borrowing and lending features will improve and increase the TVL of this project moving forward. And as such, this will give you greater incentive if you are doing flash loans to be looking and to have a watch out with the Multiplier Finance, as you are going to be able to borrow even more cryptos in value, in amount, and to do arbitrage and do any kinds of stuff in the Binance Smart Chain. For the time being, you know that But in Binance Smart Chain, there are not many flash loan providers at the moment. And I certainly, as a developer, as a smart contract developer, I'm so excited to see Multiplier Finance V2 launch and to see the kind of success they are going to expect. And as the whole platform grows, developers will be even more interested and excited about Multiplier Finance. For lending and borrowing, there's very minimum, there's no borrowing repayment fees or whatsoever. There's this collateral swap features that's uniquely for this platform at the moment. You can swap your collaterals from a highly volatile one to a stable coin with the help of PancakeSwap. The team has integrated PancakeSwap into these features. So this ensures that if your collaterals are greater quantity or in high amounts, the slippage that you are going to be impacted will be minimal. And at the same time, when you are preventing yourself from liquidation, these are the built-in features that helps you manage your collaterals so that you can change from a highly volatile crypto assets into a stable coin with just a swap like this, with just a click of a button. Collateral repayment, you can borrow, you can supply the collaterals and borrow. At the same time, you can easily repay your debts from the collaterals with just a click of the button, and the PancakeSwap is the built-in swap features behind that is working for you, and the team makes it so easy rather than you doing yourself, having a few more transactions, but the team just make it so seamless for you, and you get the savings in gas costs and the simplicity and the easiness. When you talk about borrowing, there's a fixed borrowing rate and the variable rate, which can be found in most platforms, but this multiplier has a fixed rate. And then the more you use and interact with the platforms, the team is now incentivizing and giving you bMXX rewards in return on top of the interest that you are enjoying and also the interest that you are paying. You also get, depending on which cryptos that you are supplying and borrowing, you will also be getting bMXX in the forms of rewards. As an investor, you know that there are new lender and borrower incentives that I talked about it a moment ago. There are increase in government incentives from 400 to 1,200 bMXX tokens shared daily, and the platform's rewards in the forms of flash loan, which is 0.02%, and 50% of the liquidation rewards will be used for bMXX token buyback, and this buyback and burn constitute a deflationary mechanism for bMXX token, which in the total supply can only have 13 million of bMXX token. With this deflationary built-in mechanism, it makes bMXX even scarce, and at the same time, with the governance votings and utilities, you are certainly going to see that bMXX preserve or its value. As a smart contract developers, you are going to look for a flash loan providers on Binance Smart Chain. It's not many. There's, from what I know, 3 or 4 of them, and they have the lowest fee at the moment that I know is 0.02% for executing one flash loan. Also, with a batch flash loan, this is completely new in Binance Smart Chain. You can, instead of calling just one crypto, you can have a mixture of 2 cryptos and then return it with that fee. And this just makes a lot more values and variance into the picture as far as you are using flash loan for your contracts. With that, I pretty much want to wrap up this video so that it don't take too long. Be sure to watch out for the second part of this video where I run through the live platform showing you exactly how to supply and lend your cryptos to get the interest rewards, and also to enjoy the new lending and borrowing incentivized bMXX rewards from lending and borrowing, and some of the features that I'm very excited to share with you and can only be found on Multiplier Finance. With that, be sure, if you like this video, make sure you like our videos and subscribe to our channel, and also go to our Telegram group for more crypto content like this. With that, I'll see you in the next one.